Hey everyone, and welcome to LFMMO, helping you find the perfect MMO for you. Today we're talking about Pantheon, a game that's been in development for almost 10 years that started on Kickstarter, but I do think that this game is coming out pretty soon and I'm super excited about a lot of things in it, so let's talk about those things today. So Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is an MMORPG that's being developed by Visionary Realms and actually been in development since 2014. Initially started as a Kickstarter campaign asking for $800,000. However, they initially failed to reach that goal, only getting about $460,000 instead. So while Visionary Realms may not have gotten any of the Kickstarter money, they gave them a good indicator that there was a strong amount of interest in their project. So they started up a website for their game and began to fund it independently by allowing players to pre-purchase the game alongside offering various perks to people who decided to invest early. Ever since then, the game has an incredibly rocky development roadmap, which unfortunately included the passing of the game's previous chief creative officer and the founder of Visionary Realms, Brad McQuaid, in 2019. Even with the passing of the company's leader, developers were filled with stronger than ever desire to see this project to completion. Luckily, fortune was about to be on Visionary Realms' side. As luck would have it, in 2021, Visionary Realms announced to the public they'd received a significant 7-digit investment from a private party. This amount of money is absolutely huge to a project as big as Pantheon. It should come as to no surprise there's been a lot of new developments for this game as of recently. The best way to describe Pantheon Rise of the Fallen would be consider an old school MMORPG. Modern MMOs actually have new and exciting features that older games don't, but at the same time the argument can be made that newer MMOs have lost almost all what it used to make it special in the genre. Back when MMOs were in the early stages of finding their footing, the internet was still young. It wasn't always easy to know exactly how to accomplish something in a game. Nowadays, if you have a problem in your video game, all you need to do is go to YouTube and search for your problem, and you're sure to find a solution. But it didn't always used to be that way. Before, if you got stuck in a game, you could buy a strategy guide, or more often than not, be forced to figure it out yourself. This was definitely a more frustrating experience at times, but at the same time, it also made any triumphs you had just more rewarding, because it truly felt like you overcame something really big and imposing. One key way people used to beat older games was simply through being social and talking about their problems with other people. We still do this today, but the internet has automated lots of this process. Pantheon looks to be focusing more on the social element, much more than some of its contemporaries, which personally has me very excited. Another thing that makes me feel special about Pantheon is its presentation. I'm not gonna lie, this game might not be the prettiest MMO you should look forward to, but there's something weirdly nostalgic about its art style and presentation. It's no surprise that many people working on this game come from teams that worked in popular Western MMOs, such as EverQuest, Vanguard, Saga of Heroes, and Star Wars Galaxy. It has a definite clunk to the visuals, and while it not be for everybody, people who grew up in the early MMO era of gaming may find themselves right at home with this familiar aesthetic. The races and classes include many popular MMO staples that you can come to expect, things like mages and warriors, but the thing I'm looking forward to the most are the races they offer. They all seem pretty unique, and they seem to have unique identities that sets them apart from each other in interesting ways. For example, the Scar are started like a barbarian or caveman race, which they all adorn themselves with bones and skulls, like tribalistic hunters. The Archai, on the other hand, seem more like a magic-oriented race of human-like people with focus on spirituality and magic. I'm glad to see some original ideas here, as it shows that developers are really trying to bring something unique to the table. Another thing I want to touch on is how Pantheon is planning to handle their questing systems. Normally in MMOs, the way quests work is that you run up to NPC, they'll tell you about their troubles, and you go with them to help in exchange for experience and other benefits. But Pantheon is doing things differently. The way you find quests in this game is done through something called a perception system. It essentially orders players to explore the world by letting players discover quests on their own, which might otherwise be hidden to people who aren't paying attention. I really like this approach to quests, where it almost becomes a game in itself just to find the quest to begin with. There are also lots of verticality and climbing, so adventuring this game definitely becomes a fun way to spend some time. Lastly, I just want to mention that this entire game is going to be completely open world, meaning no load times to get into dungeons or to get one zone to another. Everything will be completely open to everybody, provided you have some skill and requirements to get to it. I know a lot of people remember the old school MMORPGs that made you load up each separate zone, but thankfully they aren't bringing back the more archaic elements of the core old school MMORPG experience. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen currently has no set release date, but it's definitely a game I would recommend to keep an eye on. Especially since the game just got a massive funding, I think it's safe to say we can expect some major improvements coming in the near future. So, what do you guys think about Pantheon Rise of the Fallen? Do you guys like the traditional old school look of it and feel of it? Are you guys excited for the questing system, or do you think that's just going to be burdensome? I'm definitely interested to know your comments below. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on this game, and hopefully when it comes out in the near future, I definitely want to check it out with you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Catch you guys next time.